Hello, this is an unboxing of the Electro-Voice RE20 Dynamic Studio microphone, and it just comes in this box. Obviously, it comes packaged in the box that your retailer will sell it to you in. But this is it. This is there's no branding or anything. The only kind of branding is here, where it says what it is. And interestingly, if we can focus, it's from Telex, and it even has a Telex number, and that's quite weird because Um, I think Electro Voice became part of Telex in the mid 2000s or something, or it became part of Telex, and then eventually it became part through Telex of Bosch security systems. So let's have a look inside. And this is what's inside. That's you get a clamp or an adapter, so you can attach that to different mounts, different size screw thread mounts. This is a hardish case. Here's the packaging checklist. Oh, 20th April 15. Okay, so that's quite new. Here's the case. There's a kind of little bit of discoloration here, or I don't know, probably from the factory. So let's open it up. And I tried to open the case, and it actually got slightly stuck in the edges of the microphone. So I'm just going to have to pull that out carefully now. I don't know if you can see that, but the case here has actually got stuck in the edge of the microphone somehow. I don't know why that is. Maybe there's a bit of glue residue. So here's the mic. Let's just open it up. So this is the microphone. It's quite substantial. It's quite heavy. That little thing's quite annoying. You get this checklist and warranty and so on. This is new. I bought it. There's some little bits of hair or something there. Obviously the clamp comes with it. It's an XLR microphone, so you will not be able to use this unless you get it on your laptop, unless you get a USB adapter. I got this for a number of reasons. It's been used by some quite well-known people over the years. The Radiohead lead singers used it. Paul McCartney has used it in some sessions. I believe that Stevie Wonder's "Superstition" was recorded on an Electro-Voice RE20. It's a broadcast standard microphone. It's used in radio stations across the US. Rush Limbaugh, I think, used one. I've also read online, although I can't confirm it, that the BBC World Service have these, not in their studios, but I think they might be ad hoc microphones. They're based in London. And it's kind of known for having a radio sound, but also it's quite warm, but it's not over bassy or too much treble. If you listen to comparisons of other microphones, it can sound a bit flat, but I think that's because it gives reasonably good sound reproduction. So your voice will sound like your voice. I don't know if it'll add richness to it. One of the selling points of the microphone is that there's something called in microphones called proximity effect. So the closer you speak to it, the kind of deeper and bassier and boomier your voice will sound. So it becomes much richer. It's kind of voice of God for emphasis. That's on most microphones. The EV RE20, I think, is designed to minimize that. So you don't get as much difference when you're speaking from 4 inches away as you are when 2 inches away when compared to other microphones. Also, it's supposedly reasonably forgiving in terms of tone. So you're supposed to speak directly into it here. But if you move off axis, I think there's this feature called variable D, which reminds me of Initial D, the video game. But if you speak off axis, you won't have as much change in tone. So you won't sound much thinner or much deeper. So I think it's supposed to be quite neutral. And most importantly to me is that this is the microphone used in the TV series Frasier. So Frasier in his radio studio, he has one of these sitting in front of him, and his assistant, his producer Roz, the character would be very angry being called an assistant. The producer Roz also has one, and so it immediately has a radio sound, and you can also adjust the sound here, so you can get the bass to lessen a little bit. You can turn the bass off slightly, so it'll give you a slightly thinner sound depending on what you need. It's also supposed to be good, as with all dynamic microphones. Dynamic microphones don't pick up so much background noise. A condenser mic, if you have a noisy room or a computer running, will give you much more detail in your voice, but it will also pick up the fans and other background noise much more prominently. Dynamic microphones don't, and supposedly the RE20 is good for that as well. But it's kind of from what I understand, it's used in radio stations because it copes well with not great acoustics. It's forgiving when people move around, so we have hosts who are leaning in or leaning back or turning to look at people and speak. It still works. And so this is the Electro-Voice RE20, complete with fuzz. There we are. That's a bit annoying. But I will be doing a comparison of this and the Rode Procaster, which is the microphone I have at the moment. And I'd argue that the Procaster is actually based on the RE20. So that will be coming in the coming weeks. That's it. Bye-bye. So there's something I wanted to point out, which happened after the main recording, when I was looking at the microphone more carefully. One small thing is that there's a slight gap here in the metal, which looks a little bit unprofessional. And in some of the other videos or pictures I've seen, no gap appears to be present. One other thing is that if we turn it over this way, I don't know if you can see here, it might be a little bit difficult, in that circle here, bottom half, that is some kind of glue or resin or other substance, and I believe that hole is actually supposed to be empty. So I'm going to drop, I haven't had a chance to use this yet because I wanted to get this video up, but I'm going to drop Electro-Voice and email because compared with the slight element of fur here, and this little bit of gum or glue, which I don't want to try and scrape out, and the slight disconnection in the metal here, which again I don't know if that's with every microphone or it's just, you know, there are tolerances in manufacturing. I'm just going to drop them an email or tweet them to find out what they think, because of course, you know, it's not a cheap piece of equipment and it's professional quality, and so you'd hope it's been assembled in the same way in the factory. So I'll just go and see what they think, and let's see if for any reason, not that I can think of one, they wouldn't be happy with it, or they might think that it might affect my warranty in some respect. Better to get these things out in the open with the companies when you first have questions. Okay.